Hey, y'all, I just wanted to pop in and give you an encouraging update. Now, many of you know that my brother has begun doing low carb and actually is probably ketovore at this point. And I think he's working his way toward carnivore because he talked to his doctor about it. So I'll keep you posted on that. However, my father, I have to go back in 2019. My mother was in the hospital. She was type 2 diabetic and she had heart issues and she was on two types of insulin. And I stayed in the hospital with her for almost 3 weeks. And during that time, I took over. I did. I picked what she was going to have for her meals. And if they happened to send bread or something like that, I didn't give it to her. And guess what? When they would test her blood sugar to determine like how much insulin she would need, she didn't need near as much insulin as she had been needing. So my father was a witness to all this. And so after she was released from the hospital at that time, he made some dietary changes. He got rid of the bread, he got rid of the pasta, he didn't eat sweets as much. Once in a while he would, but basically he really improved his diet and it showed. Well, fast forward a couple of years later, my mother passed away. And So, which is understandable that you would be going through grief and that type of thing. And I'm happy to say that he does have a lady love now. A couple of years later, he met his significant other. And the problem is the two of them together not eat what we would consider healthily at all. She thinks that vegetables and whole grains and things like that are good for you, and he eats those things or had been. Because here's the thing, I found out that he was put on metformin, and I just one time I just said, "Daddy, you know what to do about this. You know how to keep your blood sugar lower. You know how to lower that A1C. You did it before. You don't want to end up like Mama." And that was all I said. Well, my dad called me and he said, "Minnie," and that's his nickname for me. He said, "Minnie, I have given up the bread and the pasta and the sugars." That's right. He said, "For 2 weeks, I haven't had any." And I was like, "Oh my God, Daddy, I am just so excited. You made my day." And it did make my day. And I'm so happy that he did finally make these changes. But here's the thing, as you all are probably aware, you've shared these things with your friends and family, and people don't always, uh, take the advice, and they don't appreciate. They see the changes that were in you, but for whatever reason, they feel like they can't do it themselves. So, about all we can do is just be loving and patient. But there is hope. There is hope. You just never know who's watching. So, let me know in the comments if you have had a pleasant surprise like this where somebody that you think maybe didn't pay attention, that suddenly they've told you, "Yeah, I've started doing keto or I've started doing carnivore." I would love to hear your stories. So I guess I better get back to work here. So I will be seeing you again soon. Remember, forget the pudding, eat your meat. Bye bye, y'all.